we ask what the heck. We talk tech and science communication with Nazareen Ebrahim, who is the CEO of Naz Consulting International, a tech comms person herself. Good morning, Naz. I hope you've been well.
Good morning, Leister. I have been well. This is the real me, the real voice.
It's the real you, because we're going to be talking about how we've seen deep fakes becoming extremely convincing when it comes to manipulating videos with famous people, notable people, politicians being made to say outrageous things that obviously could have an impact on democracy and elections and public opinion, on politicians and politics. But we're also seeing now criminals using AI to imitate the sound of family members' voices in order to scam people out of money by making it sound like they're in a distress situation and need money. We often see this when people whose WhatsApps are hacked, and then you get a message from your sister or your cousin, "Hi, Lester, I'm in a spot. Can you please e-wallet me something?" But scammers becoming so advanced that they can even now, using a sample of someone's voice, now send out distressing voice notes and messages trying to con people out of money.
And trying to con people out of money has been the oldest game in the world, probably the oldest career in human history of being able to con someone to get money. But technology, of course, Leister, we've talked at length, breadth, depth about the bad use cases for technology as much as there are good use cases. What I'm constantly being surprised by is the amount of innovation that we face, which is brilliant, which is wonderful. You're talking about the voice duplication technologies that we have access to now. Back in 2018, 2017, deepfake technology was available, but not widely available. Nowadays, someone with a few dollars, I'm not going to say a few rands, few dollars, internet connection and a little bit of spare time can easily pick up any of the tools like Descript's Lyrebird. What an apt name, Lyrebird. The Lyrebird, I think, is an Australian bird that has this wonderful capability of mimicking sounds in organic or man-made environments, but able to pick up the software where you submit a voice. So Lyrebird.ai, the company that owns that unit, the script, they say to you, and they actually call the service called overdub. They take a portion of your voice, and then you're able to put a script in, and it will speak to the script. But again, every time we speak, Leister, we're always talking about the ethical capabilities, the ethical output of how AI is developed for human capacity. And all of these tools and all of these companies, to their credit, they will argue that yes, if we don't discover these new technologies, somebody else will and won't ask the questions we are. But we've come to a kind of a peak, I'm going to say a very sharp peak in our climb up to human advancement. In this steep but somewhat steady climb, we've come to this peak where we have to build, but we have to be very certain about what the output is. We don't know the output, but we have to build anyway, and we'll fix as we're building.
The converse could also happen, where people could question whether something is true or not by suggesting, "Hey, how do you know that is my voice at all?" Because there was a report last week where Elon Musk's lawyers trying to wriggle out of one of the court cases that he's currently involved in by questioning whether voice recordings of Elon Musk, whether it's legit or could it be deep fake. So it raises also the doubt in us about whether something is legit, whether it is true, or whether it is fake or not.
I'm on a separate note, I would not put it past an American legal system to question the very things that we know are apparent to us. And one of them is to question the truth of recordings from Elon Musk, because, well, American litigation system is going to use every tool they have at hand. But that aside, that's just my personal view. How would I say this? I think it's so overwhelming to my mind as a communicator that we've come to the day and age. And again, Leister, I'm going to say this, I spoke about this in many interviews, is always question, always have an open mind. I know there is a case, and this was written earlier this year, an article in the Washington Post. This lady is 73 years old, husband 75. Ruth Card and Greg Grace got a call from what sounded like their grandson. Said he was in jail, no wallet, no cell phone, needed cash. They scrambled to do whatever they could. They withdrew 3,000 Canadian dollars. They rushed to another bank to pull more. But the bank manager actually stopped them and said he had gotten a similar call that another patron had reported, and learned that the accurate voice had been faked. This is what the grandmother is saying. The man on the phone probably wasn't their grandson. We were convinced that we were talking to Brandon. Now, what are some of the techniques that bad actors, and in the cybersecurity world, I once had a client ask me, why do you say bad actors? Well, that's just a term in the cybersecurity environment that people would use in order to indicate someone who's using it for not a good purpose, any piece of software for not a good purpose. A bad actor would call you. They would create, number one, a stress-like environment. So they put a time frame on how quickly you need to act. Immediately that raises flags, specifically if you think it's from a person that you care about or you love, a family member. The second is that they put into place the elements that emotionally push you into a place that this person is actually in danger. There's quite a lot of background noise. There may be a bit of interference on the call. The person, the AI software tools have already learned the art of being able to mimic inflection and tone and pause. I'm going to play for you quickly from Overdub. This is an ad, however, so ads are a bit more structured, right? If I'm in a calm environment, if I listen carefully, I most likely will pick up that the voice is of a different measure. But when you're in a stressed situation, when your body is under deep stress and your heart is pumping and your mind is racing, you're not necessarily going to listen out for indications that, yes, indeed, this voice is fake. Because as much as the computer can mimic us to a very great degree and in processing power, much better than we can, the ability to be a human being is such a divinely inspired creation that it can't be completely mimicked by a human, right? But I just want to play this for you very quickly. I don't know if you can hear that.
No, I can't. We'll try and play it later, but running out of time. Nazareen Ebrahim, tech communicator with our weekly What That. We'll get that sound and we'll play it, and we'll talk about the concerns around AI voice software and now in some parts of the world actually being used as scams to get people to hand over cash. 021 446 0567